Here's today's recipe. You're welcome to stop the video and take a picture if you'd like. Hi, it's time for Baking with Marion. And today we're going to do oven sweet potato fries. So they're really very good. I have my big old Whompin' Big sweet potato here. And sweet potatoes for me tend to be a little harder to cut, but more on that later. Oh, and sweet potatoes are not like the white starchy potatoes that come in those big 10-pound bags and 5-pound bags. And they're not yams either, although there are orange sweet potatoes that everybody calls yams, and they're really not. And I'll show you in a little while the difference, okay? But first, let's get ready. I have my oven on to 400 degrees. I have my pan, and I just sprayed it with my spray on, so, you know, just like that, right? But you do not have to use spray on. If you prefer, you can use just your oil, okay? Whatever oil you have. I happen to have olive oil. Now the hard part, the easy part is pretty easy. The hard part, that's cutting the thing, because it's harder to cut than a regular potato. So let me show you what I have. I have my Whompin' Big knife. Now with the sweet potatoes, please don't go fast. You gotta be careful. And if you're not allowed to have a Whompin' Big knife in your hands, then you get somebody who's allowed to have a Whompin' Big knife in their hands, okay? So let me get you down here. And now I'm going to cut this potato. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the ends because they're not very nice looking at all. So, oh great. This potato is easy to cut right now. What's with that? Made a liar out of me. Okay, so I'll put that in the compost. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut not very thick, okay? I don't want to cut here and then here. I'm going to start down here, and I'm keeping my fingers curled back away from that Whompin' Big knife, right? Okay, but I'm going to go kind of slow because now that potato is getting hard to cut. And if I try to go quick, eek, it could slip. So that's the deal with Whompin' Big sweet potatoes. So yeah, there I go. I can feel it getting really hard in my hands. See, up on top, this is not the blade, so I can kind of, well, if I could get this out of my sweet potato, I can kind of push down on this as I go. But I have a big sweet potato. Oh no, what can I do so that I'm not working so hard on getting that one very long big piece, right? Well, one thing that you can do if you find that your sweet potato is too long, cut it in half lengthwise. Now you're going to have shorter fries, but I'm still going to have fine fries for this. I don't have to have it too big. Okay, now that's flat, this is flat. I put it flat on the bottom. Now I can go ahead and go back to slicing my pieces. And since it's not quite so long, it's easier. Again, I'm keeping my fingers back away from that knife. Trying, okay, and I am not going fast. Not fast. You guys got that? Not fast. You don't want to slip with your Whompin' Big knife and hurt yourself or somebody near you. Okay, now these are obviously not fry shape. No problem. Now I'm going to cut them. Again, I'm not cutting them too thick. I have no idea how thick or not thick that is. I'm going to show you. See, there's my fingers. That's how big they are. That's how thick this is. Oh, is it about a finger? A little more than a finger thick? Yeah. So I'm trying to keep them all the same thickness, because then when they're cooking up, they'll cook about, it'll take them about the same time to get done. So I'm just going to throw these in right now, because then I'm going to do the next batch. And I need to take that off because that's an icky part. Okay, so again, you watching? Oh, don't watch if you're cutting. I need you to watch your fingers when you're cutting. So I'm trying to get them even in thickness. Looks like with this one, I'm going to have to, I'm going to have part of it's going to be a little thinner than the rest of it. Okay, throw it in. I'll spread these out in just a minute. Let's get done with these. And there's another little bad part. Going to get rid of that. Again, I'm trying for the same thickness. I bet you heard that at least twice before now. Okay. And that part's a little not good. Okay, my sweet potato was in the fridge for longer than I should have left it, okay? Okay, good. Just have several more streaks of them to go. Okay, trying to get the same thickness. Oh boy, is that like the 4th time I've said that? I think you know by now. Just very carefully cut. Bad part, I'm going to cut that right off. Now you'll notice I'm keeping the skin, because generally speaking, the skin is a very healthy part. But I'm also looking for the icky parts, which is right under the skin for some of these. So I'm good. Alright, good to go. Now this one. And see, I can do this because that doesn't have a sharp edge. And because it's so thinly sliced, I don't have to worry about it trying to slip right out. It just goes right off. Now let me show you my icky part. See? I can see that, and when I can see it under the skin like that, I'll just cut it off. Okay, sometimes I don't cut it off, but that's the way it goes. Not if it looks really, really bad to me. Okay, so here we go again. And I'm trying to keep it the same thickness. See, I managed not to say that when I cut the other slice of sweet potato. Okay, good. Got that done. Hauling this in. Ooh, not good. So that one's going to come off right about, okay, I'm going to have to do it at an angle. There we go. That's out of here. Along with that piece. How are we doing with that part? That may have to come off a little. Now this, I'm going to see if I can cut it all the way down. I was able to. Do I want to keep it that size? Sure. I'm going to keep it that size. It's the thickness that matters. They all need to be the same thickness. It's not the length necessarily. Yeah, see? It's about the same thickness as some of the ones I did earlier. A little thicker. Oops. Oh well. What happens is your thicker pieces will not get done at the same time as your thinner pieces. The thinner pieces will get done first. But if you're real close to the same size, see, that piece, don't want to. If you're real close to the same thickness, then they get done all about the same time. And if one is just a little bit thicker than another one, it'll be fine. If it's a lot thicker, it's going to take a little bit of time. I got more bad stuff on here, so I'm going to take it off. Being careful, because I don't want my fingers in with the fries. That would be gross, among other things. Painful. Keeping my fingers back. Cutting it about the same thickness. Moving my fingers when I need to and taking the top. Okay, you guys, there. Done with that. And that is the hardest part. Now, it's time to spread these out, or at least that's what I do. I like to spread them out a little bit. There we go. And I like to put them so that the fattest side is facing me. Because I don't cut these exact, especially when they're the wedges. Like this one. This one is, you know, not skinny mini like this one. I don't know whether I want to cut it or just leave it. I'm going to leave it because it's always fun to have not thicker but wider potatoes as well. Did I tell you to turn on the oven to 400 degrees? I hope so. If not, I guess I'll just put it in the information, and hopefully you will have done that. Put your oven on to 400. Okay, good, 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 and good. Now guess what we're going to do? Oh, that is my oven. It tells me that it's ready. So, that was actually my oven telling me it was all the way up to 400 degrees. It's ready. I need to finish. And I need to finish by spicing my sweet potatoes however I want them. So, I usually have my basic that I use, like salt and pepper. And then after that, sometimes I don't know what I want until I smell it. And so that's a cool way to do it. Alright, so I already put salt and pepper on my sweet potatoes here, getting ready to cook. I have garlic. That smells like it wants to go on my sweet potatoes. Now, mine are in big containers, and so I sprinkle them by taking some in my fingers, right? But if you have the kinds of jars that you just sprinkle on, do that. Nobody is going to watch you, unless you're videoing yourself for some reason. Okay, this is coriander, and it smells like it wants to go on top of my sweet potatoes. Basically, it smells good to me. It smells right. I don't know how else to say it, but sometimes I smell stuff and it's like, yes. And then there are other ones that I smell, it's like, no, this just doesn't go on or in. It's just not right. That's dill. This is dill. I usually like dill. Yeah, I'm going to put a little bit on, but not a lot. Okay, there, I got it over the potatoes. Okay, now for another one. Okay, this is cumin. And my taste buds are going, yeah, put that on those sweet potatoes. You know what it kind of sort of smells like? Like something that would be on a barbecue. And right now, I'm thinking I would like that flavor on these sweet potatoes. Okay, that is it for me. I am ready with these sweet potatoes. They are all spiced up. I'm going to throw them in the oven. It's going to take, I'm going to push a fork through them in about 20 minutes. That might be fine. And if I'm getting nervous, I might check them in 15 minutes, okay? So, into the oven with those. Timer for 15. Okay, there we go. So what I'm going to do is have a fork handy, and then when I open up the oven and check them at 15 minutes, I'm going to poke a couple of them especially if I feel like a couple of them look fatter than the others, thicker. And if everything comes off soft, then they're ready. I don't think 15 minutes is long enough. I think it's got to be more like 20, but we'll check that out. In the meantime, you can watch, while you've got your stuff in the oven, you can watch a little bit. I got a couple of fun facts about sweet potatoes. And then we'll be back when it's time to check them. Oh, and clean up while you're waiting.
Hi, here are your sweet potato facts. They are actually roots, unlike regular potatoes, which are underground stems, and underground potatoes are called tubers, whereas the sweet potatoes are actually roots. Sweet potatoes are high in beta carotene, vitamin C and C, iron, potassium, and vitamin B6. A sweet potato is not a potato nor a yam. The orange flesh sweet potato is often called a yam. Again, the two are unrelated. True yams are starchy underground tubers that likely originated in Africa. Now check out the picture. Look at the left side. That is a yam. Look at the skin of that yam. It's all kind of rough and bumpy. Look at the sweet potato. Nice and smooth. And actually many of the so-called yams in the grocery stores are actually sweet potatoes, you know, with the orange flesh. It's just we got used to calling them yams. So that's it. That's your fact about sweet potatoes. Oh, and I wanted to know the difference between a sweet potato and a yam. And here's the picture for that. You can read it on your own.
Almost time. We're down to 10 seconds, and then I'm going to check to see how soft they are. Do I have the patience? 3 more seconds, that's all. 2, 1. All right, so I'm going to check them, and I do that. I got my oven pad, my hot pad. I'm going to not drop my fork on the floor, or at least not pick it up again once it does. Okay? I just pull it out, and I stab a couple of the potatoes. Now, that one's still pretty hard. I mean, it's not soft enough. That one's okay. But the moment you get one that's hard, you gotta wait. Alright, a lot of these are fine. I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it in for 5 more minutes. Okay, and then I'm going to let that cook, and it'll probably be okay, but I'm going to check them again. All right, so you go check yours if yours is already in the oven. All right, it's almost time. Timer's going to go off in just a minute. I have my fork. Now we wait. There it goes. Let's find out. Yep. Okay, what was that other piece that was so thick? That's okay. Yep. Oh, yes. Yep. Alrighty, these things are ready. And you know what I was doing when I paused the video? Cleaned up. And got the rest of our dinner ready to go with, oh, that's hot. I need a second pad. Okay, remember that, guys. Have 2 pads handy. All right. So I don't want to taste it when it's totally hot. Sorry, I didn't finish that sentence, did I? All right, let me see if this one is, ooh, it's totally hot. Sorry, guys, you're going to have to wait a minute. Gonna do the taste test. All right. Is it time? Is it too hot? Oh, that's good. That worked. Okay. Enjoy.